we are seeing such a rise in legal tech. Before, when I was in private practice, I think the big thing and the only thing really was e-discovery. And Marie, I don't know if the same for you when you were in private practice in Charlotte, but that's what we saw. That was what was innovating in the market. And now we're seeing you're right, like CLM products that are making things so much easier. CLM products also with the AI component, where they're also identifying key provisions that would be helpful or that you've utilized in the past, identifying termination dates, things that would, normally I would have to go through, take time, effort, and bill the client, or if I'm in-house, take time and bill no client. We're definitely seeing this growth, and we're seeing much more adoption of these tools. And it's stellar. I mean, over the next few years, we're just going to see more and more automation and greater tools to make all of our lives so much easier.
Exactly.
And I think one of the incredible things is with technology rolling out, what it really means is that teams are going to go through that process of change and more frequently. And so therefore it is incredibly important to have a strong change management strategy and process.
Oh, absolutely. I remember getting an e-discovery tool, I think it was Relativity or something of the sort. And I just remember everyone getting onto the e-discovery page, and it was literally the most difficult thing because there was no strategy. We're all just kind of like figuring it out on our own. And we'll get to that slide later, but it ended up being a failed implementation. So we'll keep going.
Yeah.
So why are teams investing in legal tech? Marie, do you want to take the slide?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we both could talk about this slide for all day.
Hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest drivers, right, is that legal teams are constantly forced to do more with less. They're seen as a cost center in corporate environments. And so they're not getting the same level of budget and headcount. So they really have to redefine the term scrappy and deliver the highest quality service with limited headcount and resources. And then as well, whether you're in a law firm or an in-house team, your customer and your stakeholders have increasing expectations when it comes to efficiency and convenience. We live in a world where you can get on your iPhone and order groceries and rent a car, and we're just used to everything on demand these days. And we're starting to expect it when it comes to professional services as well. So legal is kind of being very forced very quickly to adapt to changing customer expectations and demands.
Preach on that one in particular. It's the nature of the market. We are seeing, you're right, especially legal departments where you're getting an email or you're getting a Slack message and you're like, hey, I need this answer. I need to know. I mean, the bigger thing that I've personally been seeing is I need to know stats. I need to know outside counsel stats, how much they're spending on XYZ deal, things of that nature, which you're right. Folks want that on a moment's notice. And that's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially coming from a state of the industry before where lawyers weren't really being put in a position where they were being questioned or being asked to necessarily present more detail about the behind the scenes of how they work. So it's definitely a big shift culturally and in terms of technology. Absolutely. Now there's also increasing compliance and regulatory complexities. I mean, we could talk about privacy all day and how much that's impacted the legal profession and how we've had to start to really adapt, especially in terms of audits, M&A, stuff like that. And then just pressure to scale, right? When you go to work in-house in a company, you're going to experience the pressure that the company's facing in terms of scaling quickly, growth, revenue. And those are not something that outside of a corporate environment that you may have necessarily experienced on that level. So I think it definitely changes the way you have to work.